We've got some breaking science. Apparently, trans women's milk as good as breast milk, says NHS Trust. I've got some questions, so today I will be doing a taste test of trans milk versus regular breast milk. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Humans are tearing down barriers, setting new standards in achievement, and a new achievement that I think needs to be celebrated as men now apparently able to breastfeed. Is it milk? I don't know. Is that just pus? It's milk, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm excited about this. I came across this headline, and we'll dive into an article to see the science of it, and of course we'll get to the taste test shortly, but I saw this on End Wokeness on their Twitter account. There's a screenshot from The Telegraph. Trans women's milk as good as breast milk, says NHS Trust. Okay, like right off the bat, I'm like, dude, I'm glad it's as good as breast milk. It's probably the same thing. You know, soy milk is as good as breast milk according to some, and it's like got a completely different nutrient profile and anti-nutrients and a ton of estrogens that are, you know, technically not good for a baby, but it's also as good as breast milk. And now trans milk, soy is kind of like the transgender of the food community. It's like, I used to be a plant, but now I identify as milk. So here you go. It's the same thing, except soy milk comes from a plant and trans milk comes from a woman who's a man. Drug-induced chest, this is, by the way, anytime you're gonna feed an infant, you want it from a drug-induced human. It's like, don't drink alcohol or do drugs while you're breastfeeding. Cool, but to breastfeed, we're gonna have you do drugs. Drug-induced chest feeding liquid comparable to that from mothers when it comes to baby nourishment, claim hospitals. By the way, anything is comparable. You can compare getting run over by a car to a massage. It's comparable. Like, you can literally compare it. We live in a world of relativity where you can compare anything. Just because it's comparable doesn't mean it's the same thing. You know what I mean? But of course, I buy into this. Let's take a look at what MSN.com has to say. You know, if mainstream media is telling you it's comparable and it's basically the same thing, then it probably is best not to ask any questions. So, and this is from the Telegraph, somehow on MSN.com. I don't know how that works, but trans women's milk as good as breast milk, says NHS Trust. Well, if they're really women, wouldn't it just be breast milk? How can you tell there's a difference? And NHS Trust, by the way, NHS, that really sounds like something Fauci would work for, doesn't it? And NHS Trust, by the way, and their title is Trust. It's kind of like 1984. What should we call the untrustworthy people? Call them Trust. And NHS Trust has said that breast milk produced by trans women who were born as men, but I thought they were always women, is as good for babies as that produced by a mother who has given birth. Article already in the first sentence is implying that the trans woman is not a mother. I like it. Even they can't keep their little narrative airtight. There's just holes everywhere. In a letter to campaigners, the University of Sussex Hospital's NHS Trust said that milk produced by trans women after taking a combination of drugs, it's heroin, meth, and hormones, get them all in there, is comparable to that produced following the birth of a baby. Cool, so I guess this is implying trans women who are definitely women, there's no difference, and they can't give birth because they're a man, but when someone else who is definitely also a woman, the same kind of a woman, but more of a womanly woman, when that woman gives birth, then the trans chest feeder says, well, I too would like to breastfeed. You can just chock them full of drugs and stuff is going to leak out of their chest. By the way, you're probably on too many drugs if stuff is leaking out of your chest. Scale it back a little bit, maybe. The Hospital Trust, there's that word again, which runs Royal Sussex County Hospital, Worthing Hospital, and Royal Alexandra Children's Hospital, among others, so I'm glad they're in charge of all these hospitals, was also the first in Britain to use the term chest feeding. Matt, this is a good person to be taking the lead from, in place of breastfeeding, because it's considered by some to be more inclusive, and it's considered by many others to be stupid. The Trust created what it called Britain's first clinical and language guidelines supporting trans and non-binary birthing people in 2021. Cool, so they're obliterating language. They're the thought police. Now policing breast milk. Wow, I didn't know the thought police had dominion and domain over breast milk and other pus that we call breast milk. Milk producing glands. Let's see what that has to say. These were the subject of a complaint last year by the Children of Transitioners. The organization was founded by a woman whose father transitioned in an effort to provide advice for children in a similar situation. Well, let's see what they have to say about milk-producing glands. In August 2023 response, the hospital defended its claims, referring to 5 science people. These are scientific papers dating back to 1977 and pointing to World Health Organization. Trust them. By the way, they say disease X is coming. It's not a matter of if, but when. Cool. Trust them. Guidance and overwhelming evidence that human milk is better for a baby than formula. Cool. But transhuman milk is going to be even better. It also references a 2022 study which found milk testosterone concentrations were under 1% with no observable side effects in babies. The study lasted for 5 months and no long-term data was obtained. For a person born male to breastfeed, they must develop milk-producing glands by taking the hormone progestin. A drug is required to lactate, such as domperidone, which is often prescribed to women struggling to breastfeed, now men, and helps to stimulate the production of prolactin, a separate hormone that tells the body to produce milk. Now we're getting to the baseless claims here. Lodi Moore of the Policy Exchange, which uncovered the letters, said the trust, again, they're called trust, so we gotta trust them, is unbalanced and naive in its assertion that the secretions produced by a male on hormones can nourish an infant in the way a mother's breast milk can. By the way, I saw a study or an article not too long ago. I think this was in Italy, somewhere non-American, where a mother, instead of giving her baby breast milk or formula, which is probably junk food for a baby, but instead of giving the baby any of that, it was a vegan mom just giving her baby almond milk. Yeah, the baby died of malnourishment. So this a little skeptical person suggesting, the liquid out of a guy's chest and a mother's breast milk, it's not the same and we should be concerned about that. Yeah, I mean, an infant died from being nourished on milk from an almond, so we probably should acknowledge this? I don't know. It goes on. Maya Forstatter, director of campaign group Sex Matters, said, for a chief executive and medical director of an NHS Trust to prioritize trans identities over what is best for mothers and their babies is deeply disturbing. Maybe so, but it's incredibly more inclusive. And then this, Millie Hill, a campaigner for women's rights in childbirth, gotta get more men giving birth to children, right? Improve those women's rights, told the Telegraph, male people, however they identify or describe themselves, cannot breastfeed. Well, I myself have some male chest-feeding milk. We'll get to University Hospital Sussex NHS Foundation Trust said, we stand by the facts of the letter and cited evidence supporting them. Cool. They just said they're facts, so trust the science, but we're asking questions that poke holes in the science. Well, no questions, please. All right, now it's one thing to read about these claims, but I'm a man of science, and I think you are a man of science too, and if you're a woman, I still think you're a man of science. So I have here my glass of regular breast milk and my glass of trans milk. So I'm going to do the test. I'm going to give you a taste test analysis as well as a nutrient analysis because I can probably tell. So regular breast milk. That's, seems like a 1983 varietal. Not too bad. It's creamy. It's rich. It has nutrients. It has macronutrients. Things that are thought to be life-giving and help babies not die. Cool. So breast milk, I'm giving it a 4 stars out of 5. Trans milk. Oh, no, that's good. Now that is a good glass of milk. It's salty, has a certain amount of pus in it. I taste the drugs. I wish I had more. Brent, can I have more of your chest milk? He's pumping. See if I can get more. So I would say the trans milk, it tastes much better. It's got notes of mystery. It's like an unnatural molecular configuration oakiness to it. And you can tell the nutrient profile is way more vast. It's more of a like an unpredictable, you never know what you're going to get. And, this isn't necessarily compatible for you, but it's just mysterious, which I like. I would give the trans milk 5 stars out of 5. There you have it. I'm on board with trans milk. Give it to babies, give it to children, give it to adults. In fact, let's get the World Economic Forum on board. Do away with the crickets. Just feed all humans trans milk. Do you got trans milk? You got to ask yourself that question. I think it does a body good. It definitely does a body in. Probably does a body good too. I am happy to bring a verdict to this whole trans milk controversy. It is an A+, and I'll even tell you this. I question the idea that babies are even meant to drink breast milk from women. I think it's very unnatural. What's more natural is babies getting trans milk from a human who had to have unnatural hormones alter their body in an unnatural way to create an unnatural milk to give to a baby. I think that's more natural. I am on board with it. You heard it here first, folks. Thank you for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you on our next one. But before you go, here's a quick message not brought to you by the trans milk industry. This used to be a cow. And this is the infrared sauna blanket made by Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness company with a huge range of evidence-based products to help you optimize your life in every way. It's founded in science and based on nature. And the infrared sauna blanket is one of my favorite Bon Charge products. Maybe you've been wanting to burn calories to control your weight and improve your body shape. Or you've been wanting to detoxify yourself because you happen to live in a world filled with toxins. Or you've been wanting to de-stress yourself and sleep better because you're stressed out all the time. Well, my friend, look no further than the infrared sauna blanket. Improve your body shape. Well, the sauna blanket works by elevating your heart rate to that of physical exercise. You can burn up to 600 calories per session while you relax. Detoxification note, sweating helps flush your body of heavy metals and other toxins, like toxic relationships. And the infrared heat helps give your body a beneficial endorphin release so you feel better and more relaxed. Now, when it comes to getting the benefits of sauna, here's why I like the infrared sauna blanket the best. It's easy to set up. It takes less than a minute, and it doesn't take up a bunch of valuable space and clutter up your home. And it's the most affordable infrared sauna system on the market. I use mine 3 or 4 times a week for 30-minute sessions. Since I've been using it, I find I feel more relaxed, I sleep better, I have more energy, and if I didn't know any better, it's improving my body shape. If you want to treat yourself to the best, get your infrared sauna blanket at boncharge.com/JPReacts. And while you're there, be sure to use the discount code JPReacts for 15% off all Bon Charge products. Enjoy.